Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, July the 12th, 2024. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be talking about several very important eBay topics. The first one I'm going to discuss is deadbeat bidders that seem to be coming from one area and what I think is causing it. I'm also going to be talking about a flurry of cancellations, or in some cases, attempted cancellations that I received this week. I'm going to talk about a big problem I encountered where I believe I was given false, erroneous information by an eBay customer service agent supervisor, not the agent, the supervisor when we bumped it up. I'm not very happy about that story. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about sales trends and whatever else I have time for. We're going to be doing two cutaways today. The first one's going to have to do with the problem with the eBay customer service agent representative. And the second cutaway is a tongue-in-cheek look at what I call the worst eBay dancer of 2024. I think you're all going to love it. Let's get started with tonight's topics. First of all, a problem. I had several deadbeat bidders this week, and they all had certain factors in common. Number one, they all sent me best offers. I accepted the offer and never got paid. Every one of them lived in Puerto Rico. Now you may remember eBay announced a change in the way it's handling shipments to Puerto Rico. In the past, I would ship through the post office with no problem. Now they're saying that they're going to consider Puerto Rico part of the eBay International Shipment Program. Ever since they made that announcement, I haven't had a single buyer from Puerto Rico pay me a dime. Now, it could be coincidence, but do you really think it is? So what I'm doing now, my new methodology is I will never accept a best offer from anybody in Puerto Rico as long as I live, unless eBay changes the system back to the way it was. I will, however, still sell to buyers in Puerto Rico if they're willing to click the buy it now and pay immediately. That's fine. But no more best offers for buyers in Puerto Rico. Sorry guys, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You stung me several times this week, and I talked to a few other people in eBay Motors who've also been stung. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is I've been noticing that my sales have been coming in waves. What I mean is I'll go 24 to 30 hours without a single sale. Then, within 2 minutes, I'll make 5 sales. How does this happen? It's almost like eBay is holding back the sales and releasing them all at one time. But it's happened to me numerous times this week. I've seen some chatter on the Facebook groups about it. I'm wondering if it's happened to you guys. My biggest problem of the week has to do with bad information I got from an eBay customer service supervisor. Rather than really get into it now in a prelude to the cutaway, I'm going to go right to the cutaway and show you the facts of the case. Then we'll come back, we'll talk about it a little more. All right guys, please pay attention to the screen. Here is an item I sold earlier this week. It was for $108 plus $50 shipping. This is a very heavy and bulky item. But mainly what I want to talk about right now is the compatibility feature. I always go through the trouble of filling out the entire compatibility feature. Here you can see that the newest vehicle these were ever used on was in the year 1980, when cars were rear-wheel drive. These were also used back in the 70s and even the late 60s, which is fine. What happens when a buyer disregards the eBay compatibility feature? And let me tell you something, guys. There's an old saying, you can't fix stupid. Look at this. Here is the actual item that I just sold the other day. Somebody with zero feedback comes in and buys these things, and look what he's driving. A 1985 Chrysler LeBaron base convertible. Now, I realize some of you guys know nothing about cars, but I know a lot about cars. A 1985 Chrysler LeBaron convertible is front-wheel drive. It is physically impossible for these items to fit this car. That being said, we have a situation. Number one, we have one of the stupidest people walking the earth in play. Now, what would be the smart thing to do in this case? Let's downsize that. Let's go back to here. Look, $50 shipping each way. Now, if I send him these items, you know damn well he's going to want to return them. And one of two things could happen. Either he could just admit he bought the wrong size and lose $100 in shipping, or he could lie and he could say that it's not as described and I'm going to lose $100 in shipping. Or, what I think is the smartest choice of all, I could cancel the order, right? I could either select problem with the buyer's address or buyer asked to cancel. But I said, well, wait a minute. I said, let me just call eBay, or let me request a call back and let me see what they've got to say. So I did that, and I got a representative on the phone, real nice lady who understood. I said, in the past, I've been told that I can select problem with buyer's address. I said, that's what I think I should do. I said, this guy's a moron. He's worse than a moron, okay? However, just because he's a moron, I don't want him to lose $100 in shipping. She says, I understand, but I'm going to have to get my superior involved in this. So she was back and forth and back and forth. I was on the phone for 22 minutes. And do you know that her superior told me I am not allowed to cancel the transaction at all? Even given everything I've showed you, I cannot select problem with buyer's address. I cannot select buyer asked to cancel. She said I should contact the buyer and engage him in conversation and make him put in writing he wants to cancel. But I had already contacted him earlier in the day with his zero feedback, and of course he never got back to me, which I knew he never would. So basically, eBay forced me to send this buyer an item that he will never be able to use, and it's going to cost him $100 in stupidity shipping. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't feel sorry for this guy, because I go through the trouble of using the compatibility feature. eBay has the guaranteed fitment program, and I get all the morons, all the idiots who don't read and buy things like this all the time. I really hate to see even a moron lose $100 in shipping, but apparently eBay just doesn't care. In my opinion, this is an example of some real bad information. I don't know if this customer service agent's superior or supervisor, if I may use the term, I don't know if she was just a little bit lacking in knowledge and common sense, or if this is their new policy. But I figured I should pass this on to you, because if I didn't show you this, I would be doing you a disservice. If you sell on eBay Motors, it's probably going to happen to you. If you don't, it probably won't. But anyway, let's get back to the video. Okay, so yeah, personally, I was inclined to cancel the sale on my end, saying either problem with buyer's address or buyer asked to cancel, because even though the guy is dumb as a rock, I hate to see anybody lose $100. And keep in mind, he could lie and say the item's not as described, and cute Joey would lose the $100. Joey doesn't lose $100. Not happening. That's why I called eBay Concierge. I requested the callback, and they made a note in my account. If the guy does try and pull anything like that, hopefully I'll be covered. But I'll let you know what happens when it happens. My personal feeling is the odds of him returning that are 99.9%. They can't physically fit the vehicle he entered into the fitment section that I showed you, the 1985 convertible. Not gonna fit. This is another example of how the eBay Guaranteed Fitment program is failing miserably. Obviously, it shows these items are not going to fit his car, but he went ahead and bought them anyway. There should be some kind of a warning. If he circumvents all the warnings about the eBay Guaranteed Fitment, where eBay will say, we're not responsible if this doesn't fit your car, because we're telling you it doesn't fit. It's not going to fit. Okay, let's move on to the next cutaway, which I think is something that's going to make you kind of smile and shake your head in disbelief. So this happened the other night. A person with zero feedback signs up to eBay specifically to buy my item. I had it listed for $54 plus shipping. He sends me a best offer of $35. eBay tells me that if I accept the offer, I'm going to be paid right away. I know if I hold out a little bit longer, I can get more than 35 bucks for this. But I figured, what the heck, I'll make a quick kill and sell the item, which I did. I accepted it, got paid a couple of minutes later, everything's fine. So I decide at some point, it wasn't that long, but I decided at some point to get things ready. So I printed the packing slip, not the label, the packing slip, got a box ready, got the item, boxed it up nice, did my thing. Then I printed the label. I swear to Christ on the cross in Brooklyn, I don't think it was 20 seconds after I printed the label, this guy broke into a dance that will outrival any dancer I've had in as long as I can remember. Let me explain. You know what irritates me, and it irritates you too, because I've talked to a lot of you about it, is when a person contacts you through the messages and instead of asking you a complete question, they ask fragments and continue to hit you with different questions each time, one after the other, before you could physically answer. For instance, if somebody wanted to say, I would like to change my shipping address to 123 Main Street in Anywhere, USA. I'm requesting this because the address I gave you is wrong, and I'd like you, if possible, to switch it. But if you can't switch it, I totally understand. Please let me know as soon as possible. While it may be annoying, that is somebody who's got a brain at least that can sit down and formulate sentences. I'm going to show you a screenshot in a couple of minutes. That's going to drive you crazy. How many times in a 60-second period do you think this guy contacted me? That's the question. I'm going to take a drink of Gatorade while you yell out your answers. All right. All right. Somebody yelled it out. Some of you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 times in less than 1 minute. And I'm going to show you the timestamp so you know I'm not lying. All fragmented sentences. I want to change my address. The address is wrong. Send it to 123 Main Street. Hello. Do you understand? The address is wrong. I was getting so flustered because my phone was constantly playing that music. And I'm working as feverishly as I can to block this nut. Okay? I blocked him. That's the only reason why I got the music to stop. Then I immediately canceled his order. Problem with buyer's address, which in this case will hold up because he clearly said there's a problem with the address. And I relisted the item. I thought that was the end of it. Do you know on Thursday, the same guy starts a second account and this time sends me an offer of $30, not even the $35 he offered me the other day. And this time he offers me $30, as if to say, well, he got blocked on that account too. Craziness, man. But now let me stop and let me show you the next cutaway presentation. Okay, guys, I'd like you to follow along with me now, and I'm going to introduce you to one of the worst dancers I've encountered in many years on eBay. A dancer is a person that buys an item from you, and after the transaction is completed, he starts messaging you many, many times. All right? Let's start at the very bottom of the screen. You can see that someone sent me a best offer on this particular item for $35 plus shipping, which I accepted right away. Okay? A couple of minutes later, I received payment. No problem. I printed the packing slip and I printed the label. Once I printed the label, the shipping label, and not before, man, did this guy start dancing. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he would have kept dancing. I took it upon myself. I said, too freaking bad. I canceled the order, blocked him, and washed my hands. And whatever happens, happens. If you want to know what he was saying in all these messages, he started right off wanting to change his address. That was the first one. Now keep in mind, I should have said he's got 0 feedback and joined eBay today just to buy my item. So what I don't understand is if it's a brand new account, how could he type in the wrong address? He wanted me to switch it, and he kept at it, one after the other. I replied twice, all right? Once here and once here. And as quick as he would send me one message, he would send a follow-up message. My phone was smoking, all right? This is not an AOL chat room from 1995. I do not need this kind of communication. All eBay buyers must have a valid shipment information lodged on their account and kept up to date. I have no compunctions about canceling sales when people act like this. So yeah, I just figured this would bring a little smile to your guys' faces. Let's get back to the video. If I hadn't told you that story and shown you the screenshots, I really don't think you'd believe it, but now you do. As I said at the beginning of the video, I had an unusual amount of cancellations this week. I approved a couple of them, and there's a few that I had to decline. Oh well. I just don't understand people. I had one guy purchase a set of 13-inch Plymouth Reliant wheel covers. Pays right away. Okay, no problem. So I start getting them ready. No, didn't print the shipping label yet. Bang, there's the cancellation, comes right in. I said, Jesus Christ. But since I didn't print the shipping label yet, I decided to honor it. It's the right thing to do. However, anybody cancels with me gets blocked. Simple as that. Everybody has to pay the kitty. As long as I haven't printed the shipping label, I will honor the cancellation. I had a couple that wanted to cancel hours after I printed the shipping label. By now they should have their items. And then I had one person who sent me a cancellation notice at 12:30 in the morning when I was sleeping. So I didn't catch it till the next morning, like 7 hours later. But again, I hadn't printed the shipping label, so I honored it. And of course he got blocked. And the weird part about that guy is he had zero feedback. Zero feedback, signs up to buy my item, buys it, and then wants to cancel. Go figure. I think I'm going to bring this video to a close now because I still have things to do. I'm sure you do too. I'm Crazy New York Driver, you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative, helpful, and entertaining. I hope I was able to put a smile on your guys' faces when I told you the story about the dancer. I hope you all make a ton of money on eBay this week. Rock on and